Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in. Apologize, I haven't been consistent with my weekly updates. Just had a number of things, including travel, that's been conflicting with my ability to film these. But I thought I would give investors some of my thoughts, just because there's been a lot of emails and with questions relating to stocks and some thoughts that I could share. So one of them at the top of my list is a large cap stock being GE. A lot of people have seen the downside move in GE, which has been a total and complete dumpster fire. The stock, I think, closed around $17 today. For those of you that are long-term investors and willing to let the company turn things around, I think that this is a pretty attractive entry level. I think there's probably going to be a little bit of short-term weakness in the stock because some day traders are going to play around with this, plus shorts seem to be having their way with this company. But GE is GE. They have a strong balance sheet. Granted, they do have a pretty significant debt level, but and their accounts payable are pretty substantial. It's $75 billion, which is insane to me. But they do have about $107 billion in long-term debt. I think of which I think 70 billion is relatively near term. So anyways, they can address that with the cash they have on their balance sheet. They could also do an offering, but I think GE might be a nice play for those of you that are long-term value type investors and that like to play turnarounds. I am a fan of that. I remember when everyone thought Best Buy was, going to hell in a handbasket, and I thought Best Buy was a nice buy. This is about 5 years ago, and that trade worked out pretty well. So anyways, there's a large cap play for you. As for small cap, I'm actually headed to Las Vegas here today to go out to the MJ Biz conference, where I'll get to see a number of cannabis companies present, as well as see a number of people in the cannabis industry, providers of solar, lights, any garden variety type supplier or vendor in the cannabis industry. I'll be getting to see that. So I'll be sharing my thoughts on what I think is a standout from the conference. There's going to be about 20 or 25,000 people in attendance, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Two names that I'm looking at in the cannabis space that I'm actually a big fan of is CLS Holdings, that's ticker CLSH, and the other one is GB Sciences, which is GBLX, that's Gary Boy Larry X-Ray. As for the latter, GB Sciences, one of the things that's really impressed me is their growth. Anytime they grow, their yields have been substantial, and any plants that they grow, they've been getting incredible feedback on. So definitely a player in the space in terms of a quality player for the dispensary side. They also have a science angle on their on the company too. So that's just a name to look out for. I'll have more to report on next week when I'm back. Another name I'm really excited about is Riot Blockchain, ticker RIOT, which has one of the coolest tickers ever. So I'm a stakeholder or shareholder in Riot, a big fan of management. I think that they have a number of opportunities in the space in terms of consolidation. You've seen some of that with some of the press releases they put out just over the last month or two. And I would think that there's probably more to come because there's a lot of consolidation that's going to occur in the industry. There's a competitor of theirs, if you want to call them a competitor. I think the other company is a complete joke. That's called Hive. Hive has, almost $1 billion market cap relative to Riot, which has only a 60 million market cap. Hive trades in the U.S. on the pink sheets. It's like PRLEF is their ticker. There's just no reason there should be that large of a valuation gap between those two. So I look for that to close, just as a name to look out for. Other names I'm looking at in the biotech space, Biotime is a name I'm definitely excited about. Had a nice move last week. It was up about 15% on on Friday. Sologenics is another name, definitely encouraged by that. Mavvax, you've seen some of the interviews that I've done with their CEO, David Hansen. I think that one could get really exciting as we get closer to data, which is going to come probably next month or possibly in early January. So those definitely happy about those names. In the energy space, Camber Energy, ticker Charlie Ernie Indigo, CEI, has been a big mover. Granted, it's a low price stock. It's only about a quarter, but the stock's moved up from about 14 cents or so up to about a quarter. It's been a nice mover with big volume. That's a major turnaround play, and I love turnaround stories, which is why I led off with GE. So, anyways, that's all the news I have fit to print at the moment. There's obviously a number of other names that I haven't mentioned on here that are on our website, and I encourage you to take a look at them. A lot of names that we think are very exciting and that we follow. So, Riot is the one that's also our stock of the month. That's RIOT, the blockchain company. And as cryptocurrency continues to gain traction and people become more educated on what cryptocurrency is, they're going to understand that blockchain is, in my opinion, the most valuable part of the whole cryptocurrency infrastructure. And so Riot's name definitely very excited about. So anyways, that's it, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize for my casual attire, but I am going to a cannabis conference, and so I can't, look too business, or else they'll think I'm maybe like some kind of cop or something. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week. Okay, bye-bye.